Hello and welcome to another episode of the Never a Straight Answer podcast. The podcast aims to cover a wide range of topics from conspiracy theories to popular culture and news. I'm your host Gaz, and joining me in the studio, well, it's said that he once found an alien base on Google Maps while searching for the nearest pizza place. Please welcome the cosmic explorer, master of both ufology and the pepperoni. It's my co-host, Mr. Taylor.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. How are we doing?
Excellent. Well, we had a few people saying they couldn't hear you, so I'm glad we can kind of rectify that this week. And thank you and welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Whether you're a new listener
or repeat offender.
Welcome along there. Oh, you stole my line.
Yeah, I did.
Well, yeah. Well, we always welcome back new listeners and repeat offenders, like you say. We've got a great episode coming up for you this week.
We have
indeed. This week, we're going to be looking into the fascinating world of secret bases and the alleged alien involvement.
Yeah.
We're looking from the infamous Area 51 to other installations right across the globe. We're going to be looking at quite a few different countries. They all potentially have hidden bases.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We've looked into a couple of the bases ourselves on previous shows.
Yeah,
we've done a bit of research in these areas. But there's some on the list that we've not covered. So we'll be going into those a bit later on. Interestingly enough. It is exciting. I just love these sort of bases. One of them which is kind of a bit of a bonus one. Which is the Denver airport. Because there's a bit of controversy to whether that is a base or not.
Bit of a special one.
But there is some spooky stuff going on around there as well. We'll be getting into it a bit later on in the show.
Indeedy.
This week's but basically what I was going to say, I didn't reveal the answer to the riddle last week.
You didn't know? Yes,
I didn't. I kind of remembered as soon as kind of like I went to upload the episode last week, and I was like, oh God, I didn't actually reveal what it was. Did you actually guess it? I'll give you a week to look into it.
I can't remember the question now.
Right, oh God, now you're gonna be making me. What's it now? It was basically like I expire. I live to expire. I'm slow when I'm fat. I'm fast when I'm thin. Wind is my enemy. What am I?
No idea.
The answer was a candle.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
Exactly. I don't know. Maybe people at home got that.
Hey, yeah.
I mean, nobody said, but I'd say that I thought there might be people going, oh, no, I know what it is. But I forgot to reveal it, so I'm going to say, don't forget to reveal, because Taylor, it's your turn this week.
It is.
Yeah, it's your turn to riddle my mind and see if I can get it. I'm 1-up. You're 1-0.
You are 1-up.
1-0.
Yeah,
1-0.
Not for long. You might have won the battle, but you ain't won the war yet, son.
Right, all right.
Yeah,
well, come on. You're supposed to have a really tricky riddle for me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, try this one then.
Okay. Okay.
What do you serve that you can't eat?
Jail time.
Oh no, you probably eat that.
No. Wait a minute. What would you serve? A jury.
Jury? No.
Okay. So.
No, but you
a sentence.
No.
A king?
No.
No. Who would I serve? I don't know.
Yeah.
Who would you serve? Maybe I'm going to have a think about that while we go into the show. But so read the riddle out again.
So the riddle is, what do you serve that you can't eat? So if I serve something to you, you can't eat it.
A notice.
Well, no.
No, oh God. Well, how many guesses can I have? I don't know. Before I give up, hopefully Taylor will tell us what the answer is to that later on.
Yeah.
I might get it by then. I might not.
I've got a funny feeling you might.
Okay. Let's see. Am I on the right track?
Yes.
I feel like because I kind of threw out a few answers at you there, and it wasn't. None of them were like, exactly. Kind of. You didn't give me any sort of clue whether it was hot or cold.
No, yeah. Well, I can't do that. You know what I mean? I'm 1-0 down.
Was there any that I was
up.
cold or hot at? Like, you know, that you can kind of go, there was one that you were a bit warm at?
I'd say... no. I'd
oh,
say no.
Man.
No.
So what was it again? One last time. Tell us what it is again.
One last time is, what do you serve that you can't eat?
Time. I don't know. What do you serve?
No.
Seriously, like, well, I don't know. We'll work it out.
You will kick yourself.
Oh, it's going to be something stupidly easy, isn't it? And then I bet again tonight everybody's like, no, I know what it is.
Yeah.
Well, if you do know what it is, clever bastard you are.
Yeah.
I'm not that smart, obviously.
Well, we'll find out by the end of the night.
Well, maybe. Right. Well, moving on. Anyway, right. If you know what it is, you'd like to say, well done. But definitely. I'm struggling. What I will say is tonight's episode is brought to you in partnership by Audible. Not partnership, but in affiliation.
Yeah, association.
Yeah, in affiliation. Affiliation. Yeah. Well, as part of that affiliation, if you go over and subscribe to a free trial.
Yes.
You can get a free book.
You can.
Indeed, you can. Every month you'll get a new book, and they do all of the classics. You know, they do all the
big range of like sci-fi, romance, comedy, action, all of them.
Well, yeah, you'll get one free book of your choice, yours to keep even if you cancel. Yeah, and they do. You get the ability to choose from the largest selection of audiobooks, including bestsellers, new releases, sci-fis, romances, mysteries, classics, and a lot more besides. After 30 days, you'll receive one book, and each month you'll be debited $7.99. You'll get a different book.
That's still
Prime
a good
customers
price,
get 2.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, well, there you go. If you would like to sign up to that, you can do that by checking out the link in the description.
Please do.
Audible.
Oh.
Right, well, what have you been up to this week anyway, Taylor? I know you've joined TikTok now, haven't you? I do need to give subscribers shout-outs.
Yes.
Yeah. So big shout-out to the subscribers over on TikTok. We've got Holly. We've got Jess.
Yes,
Josh.
Yes, Josh.
Oliver.
Yes, Ollie.
And also Kat. Thank you, everybody who's subscribing over there. If you would like a shout-out on the show...
Yeah.
Subscribe over on TikTok or on Spotify or, support in anywhere. Anywhere you do support, you'll get a shout out.
You will.
That's awesome, isn't it? Anyway.
Well, I've been on TikTok for...
You've joined TikTok now?
Yeah. I thought I'd pick up a little hobby. So I thought maybe a recorder or something.
What, so you're trying to say like you were doing something to kind of like, right, I see. So you need something to kind of like, when you go live on TikTok.
Yeah,
so, a talent.
Yeah,
is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So you've picked up the
One
recorder.
Yeah.
Would you mind showing us?
Well, I'll give you a little blast.
All right, okay. One second. I'll turn the backing track down.
Yeah. Don't ruin my talent here. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. So
someone might hear and be famous here.
Take it away. Okay. Don't give up your day job, Taylor.
My lungs ache. What?
Oh my God! Yeah, you look red-faced, dude.
Well,
So this is what you're going to... It's actually better than some of the lives I've seen. So I'll actually give you a round of applause for that one because, I thought that was actually really talented.
This time next year, I'll be a millionaire.
He'll be on Britain's Got Talent. I think you do need to master that tune, though.
Yeah, I think just a little tweak here and there.
Just here and there, yeah. No worries.
I nearly got it.
There we go. Well, moving on. I think you're a very talented man, Taylor.
Well,
so
well, thank you.
It's all right. Well, this week has just been a weird week for me.
Sort of for me.
It's just been weather's been terrible.
Oh,
yeah. And we can't believe that it's so
It's
rainy in the
down.
middle of July. And,
It hasn't
you know,
stopped all
summer's
day today. has it?
all day, yeah.
All
But it's
day.
almost like summer's just been non-existent this month, or this year even.
Yeah.
We had a few kind of weeks in June, didn't we? But like
Yeah,
then
yeah,
it's
yeah.
gone a bit kind of shit.
sappy.
Low pressure.
Bit
apparently.
moist out there now.
We're hoping it might get a little better.
Yeah,
But it doesn't
hopefully.
dampen our spirits. We're used to
No.
it over in the UK, aren't we?
Oh,
And
yeah.
we're renowned for a bit of rain.
Yeah, especially Manchester.
Especially
We love a little bit
Manchester,
of
yeah,
rain
exactly.
in Manchester. Hell yeah. It's the way to
You
do
take
it.
your coat any day of the week, even
Yeah.
if it's like 45 degrees.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh,
take your
yeah.
coat, make sure you take your coat. It might rain.
And your brolly if you got
Yeah,
one.
it just might rain.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Indeed.
it's been a bit of a weird one with the weather.
Yeah.
But yeah, been a nice week overall. But like anyway,
Yeah.
we've got a really interesting show lined up.
Yeah.
It's been something that we've talked about all throughout the podcast in
Yeah.
terms of
Totally.
you know, conspiracy theories and places of interest. But like, you know, hidden bases do seem to come up quite a lot. Now, you know, it's one of those where, you know, they hide all the good stuff, don't they, basically?
They do.
So, you know, in terms of like, you know, factual information to each base, you can try and find stuff, but obviously a lot of it
Yeah, you
comes
gotta
down
find
to
it.
rumour.
Yeah, and
Whistleblowers and, you know, eyewitness testimony. So
bits of paperwork and these witnesses do have evidence with them. It's not just a case that they've just turned around and gone, right, I'm just writing a statement about something. They've actually, and it corroborates with other people as well.
Well, this is This is what I was going to get into, because the first, you know, base that we're going to talk about is probably the most famous, and we've talked about Area 51 so many times.
Oh yeah, and S4.
Area 51, Nevada, in the US, you know, is highly classified US Air Force base and facility located in the Nevada desert, around 83 miles from Las Vegas. Its primary purpose is officially stated in the testings and development of advanced aircrafts and weapon systems. That's what it comes under. The base was established in the 1950s and has been involved in numerous top-secret projects, including the development of the U-2 spy plane, as well as the stealth fighter. So, you know, there has been stuff coming out of that base where people have gone, okay, right, we've seen something, but because it was a classified thing, they never told us what it was at first. So therefore, there's a lot of kind of people go, oh, well, potentially these UFOs that we were seeing, or up until the release of the U2 or the stealth, were exactly that. It was what they were seeing was test flights of this, you know, these weapons that have been developed, or these planes they're developing. So, you know, I'm not saying that all of them aren't. But a lot of them, the government know what they are, right? Yeah. So for them to still come out and say, well, we can account for half of these sightings because most of the sightings are actually us.
Well, it works out about 98%.
But when they can't, you know, account for what they've seen, that's when it gets interesting. The conspiracy theories, obviously, like I said earlier, they're hiding all the good stuff. I mean, Area 51's classified nature of tight security has fueled numerous conspiracy theories. Some enthusiasts believe that the base houses crashed UFOs and extraterrestrial technology.
Yeah, used to, but soon as like everyone knows about Area 51, it basically after 1990, it all got moved to
Area 52, basically. You know,
a proper military base.
Rikers. Is it? No, it can't be.
Wright-Patterson's base.
Wright-Patterson, yeah. Where's Wright? Well, am I thinking of something else actually entirely? Don't even go. I don't even need to know. It's taking it away from the focus here. Come on, what was you saying?
Yeah, it got moved basically to there. It also parts to Fort Knox, which there's supposedly tunnels through there as well.
You can tell us all about that in a minute, because you were saying about witness testimony. Well, kind of people, kind of whistleblowers.
Yeah.
One of the most famous whistleblowers of, you know, for Area 51 was Bob Lazar.
Oh, yeah.
We've done an episode about Bob Lazar as well. He's a former physicist who claims to have worked at Area 51 back in the late 1980s. Bob has publicly shared his experience and encounters, and saying that basically there was advanced alien technology at the base.
Yeah, that's right.
His claims basically, people were skeptical,
but
over time, it seems like some of his... they denied they even worked there in the first place, didn't they? So, I mean, now his claims started coming to light.
Yeah, Element 115 was a good one as well, because he was talking about it, and I believe he had he can't have had a piece of it, because it disappears as soon as it appears, basically. But he was talking about Element 115 back then, and it didn't even get on the table until, I think, 2016. Didn't even know it was in existence, but is to suppose...
No, but my argument with that sort of stuff is, if it doesn't exist, and you're looking for something...
that's like, sort of like the God Party, but...
Well, and then it pops up, something pops up. Are you going to name it that just for the sake, because that's what you were kind of looking for, but it might not necessarily be it?
Well, no, because he extended it. This Element 115 is used to turn into Element 116 that actually propels.
It's the fuel for the engine, is it? Yeah. Like dark matter type stuff. I don't know.
But which
I'm not
now
a
they can
physicist.
prove you can turn it to Element 116. So there's proof there on 2 accounts there, and there's possibly more. But there's like you say, over the time, there's more and more proof being coming out, and it's true. I mean, look now. Look, 10 years ago, the government wouldn't even look into this kind of stuff. The people wouldn't even look into this kind of stuff. But it's mainstream now, and so even that tells you that there is something there. There is some. You know what I mean?
Well, this is it, because in fact, this kind of leads nicely into the next base. What have you got one you want to talk about, or are you happy with the next one?
No, I'm happy with your next one.
The Pine Gaps in Australia.
Yeah.
So the Pine Gap, if you don't know what they are, it's a joint defence facility operated by the Australian government and the United States. It's located near Alice Springs in Australia's outback, right, and plays a crucial role in signal intelligence, satellite tracking and space surveillance.
Yes,
right?
And actually all Apollo's missions had to go through there as well, and I believe a lot still today. A lot of the information goes to Australia before it goes to like NASA.
Well, that's it, because it's joint. It's basically they're looking out for anything. They're looking for signals, basically.
Well,
it's out in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's known as a Joint Defence Facility Pine Gap, or the JDFPG, and it serves as a key site for global intelligence networking. So
that's right.
The conspiracy is basically saying like it's the Outback extraterrestrial hotline.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The Pine Gaps is, obviously it works with satellite communication. It has the capabilities. So the theory goes that the facility is in contact with alien civilizations, and they might be like having chit chats with them.
If we're going to communicate, best place,
isn't it? Well, it's out in the middle of nowhere as well. So how
weather.
many times? All right then.
Not
so
cloudy,
if you've got a base, that's tracking space signals, tracking sort of objects in the sky, you've got it out in the middle of nowhere, right? It's the US have got an hand in it as well, so they're like, we want a bit of this.
You've got to have one on each side, so you've got actually, the
like triangular the
they can triangulate the Earth, so they can
triangulate the signal.
And obviously one place.
Well, exactly. They want to be looking in both directions. There's no point us standing in the UK looking at the sky. I actually watched a video the other day, and it was talking about how people on the southern hemisphere see the moon. And the stars and the constellations. They're all in different places to where we see them.
That's
in the northern hemisphere. Right.
And at one time we're only looking at between 0.5 and 1% of the sky, because we ain't all looking up.
Where's the other one in the States, do you think? Do you know that listening post? It's interesting, like I say, to think that it might be some sort of communications tool between intergalactic extraterrestrials.
Yeah.
It's an interesting theory. As you know, regarding eyewitness testimonies in this one, the Pine Gaps hasn't really got any besides speculative nature of the compound itself.
Yeah.
But it has led to some sort of kind of like sort of jokes. There was one that basically said there was a humorous so-called eyewitness testimony who said that they saw a kangaroo get picked up by a flying saucer.
Okay.
As they were riding across the outback.
Yeah, but that's only like picking up a cow.
Well,
why would you think they would pick up a cow?
Like you pick up any animal, wouldn't you? Be like, oh, what? Have a look at the wildlife, and
well, yeah,
kangaroos
if
are just fucking
species.
punch you in the face.
But then again, like if they've been here for a longer generation, they should have fucking done that list by now.
Oh yeah, totally. Maybe
so
this is it. They just
do
one at a time.
Then it makes me think. Then the next stage on that is change the DNA within that species and play around with that species to see what we can create.
Well, kangaroos are kind of like one of those animals already that I think they stand up right. Yeah. They can box. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're
good
very
boxers,
kind of maternal towards their offspring.
Yeah.
Yeah. They are kind of similar in a way to, not to us, but I mean they were kind of one. They look hench as well when you see like a kangaroo.
Yeah.
They look really like kind of like they work out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, do.
Well, that jumping, a lot of that
totally.
Jumping gets your legs stretched.
Could they be something that in millions of years, evolves to be an like intelligent humanoid species? Yeah, exactly.
Hey, well, it's halfway there. It's got the ability.
Well, it stands upright and does, it can box.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, you never know.
Was
there any bases that caught your eye? Was there any in particular that were kind of like, of interest? Because I know we've talked about a few over the years, but I mean, was there any that we've missed that you saw and thought this is a good, interesting base?
I don't think we talk enough about the Antarctica ones.
Yeah, well, I think Antarctica's interesting because not that many people go there. You can but military and kind of scientists. I mean, I'm not saying people can't go there.
We was proving with them watches when you got caught, like them exercise watches.
Oh yeah, that's right. Totally didn't they? Yeah. What was that? That was the Fitbits.
Yeah, that's it.
That was a really good story actually, because what happened there was. There was a member of the facility, like a worker who worked on this secret base on Antarctica.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how secret it was, but supposedly secret base. He basically had his GPS turned on while he was on his Fitbit, and it was tracking his route.
Yeah, I believe
and he was supposed to be in the secret base. Yeah, exactly. So they banned all Fitbits off the base.
Yeah, but he already done his
he's already done the damage, hasn't he? Yeah, basically, he's give the whole layout of the part of the building he operates in at least.
It would even be the entrance as well, if you think about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you see his entry point and exit point, wouldn't you? So, I mean...
And there's some witnesses that have come forward and stated, basically... I'm hearing quite a lot of it at the moment about it being the headquarters of the basically
the Illuminati, the alien. It's like a big alien base. Oh, all right. So like the mothership.
The main airport. That species come in, leave, do all that kind of stuff. That supposedly, which if you think about it, it clarifies certain things because there's a dead zone around.
Well, that does actually make sense. Yeah. So if you did, why are they all over the show? Why are they being seen everywhere? But
this is the thing that kind of frustrates me, because it's like they don't supposedly they don't want us to know about them, but yet they're showing their faces. But
they're not showing the faces. There's been sightings of certain things that we can't explain.
As well with abductions and stuff.
But I've seen some interesting things about the Antarctica where I've seen like UFO-shaped holes in ice glaciers where this has been suspected that this is an entrance to one of these bases.
Yeah, Captain Bird. Yeah.
Well, there was the whole thing about Captain Bird.
Yeah, which we covered
again.
as well.
We've done an episode of.
One,
if you wanted to go back and listen to it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Antarctica's like it's shrouded in mystery anyway. Because it's such a kind of...
you can't go there without license.
Well, you can, actually. In fact, I think you can, right? Yeah, I don't think it is actually that difficult to get the license. Mr. Beast went there the other week.
Did he?
Yeah. To do, we got left in the Antarctic for a couple of days.
Well, he's a part of the Illuminati, ain't he?
Well, he probably has signed up with the Illuminati by
give
this
him the
point.
money. Yeah, he's got the money, so they're going to do anything.
He said he makes all his videos because of his Feastable sweets now. All of that generates enough money for him to make videos now, apparently.
Jesus, man.
Well, good on him.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the mark of the beast.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
That's it. You sold your soul.
If you call Mr. Beast and you're like, yeah, you're definitely joining up, aren't you?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a conspiracy. That's a conspiracy in itself, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Nowhere with loads of money.
One conspiracy is the Dolce base. Another one we have actually covered.
One of my favourites, this one.
This is in New Mexico, the USA.
Yeah.
The Dolce base is rumoured to be an underground facility near Dolce in New Mexico, where basically the base has not been officially confirmed.
Yeah.
It's become the central point in various conspiracy theories. The town Dolce itself gained fame in 1980s when a man called Paul Benowitz claimed to have evidence of a UFO activity in the area.
Yeah.
So obviously, like, this sparked off the flap, if you like. Do you know we talked about in the Welsh Triangle where, you've got the flap, and he's basically Paul Benowitz. He's turned around and said, "Oh, I've got evidence. I've found UFOs, crashed UFOs out in the desert out of Dolce."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That kind of brought people's attention to the area in the 1980s. But then, like I say, the conspiracies have come up more and more about Dolce Base. We've talked about it as well. We've done an episode about the Dolce Base and the various levels of craziness that happen there.
7 levels.
It's almost like Dante's Inferno, isn't it? Like, the levels of hell. And it kind of feels like that's reflected in what is reported to go on there.
Yeah.
What is it? 2 alien species who operate it, or more?
It's supposed to be the lizard people and the greys, but at the bottom is the worst place because it's where the greys sit in tubs of human parts.
Well, that's it, cooking up the alien tacos.
Yeah,
down in New Mexico. Down Mexico way, cooking up alien tacos.
Well, like Phil Snyder, who worked on digging tunnels for the US government at the time, at the military, he was one of the first in 1995 to bring about these military bases and these tunnels from place to place, that it's all being hushed up and all that. And then he got murdered in 1996, the year after he actually come out and started doing talks about it and stuff.
Yeah, well, another one of the theories is obviously the overall theory is, you're right. Secret experiments where aliens and humans collaborate on scientific endeavours. Yeah. Testing alien species on Earth food and...
Yeah, which...
Making tacos.
How long? It's just... It seems to me that it seems to be I
love a taco, but, it makes it... I don't want to... It's like Soylent Green. Do you know what I mean? Have you ever seen that where it's like, obviously they grind down people and feed them to the people?
Yeah.
It's like
Soylent
Alive. Green. Yeah, it's nasty.
Yeah.
What film was that? What film was that?
Alive, was it?
I can't remember. No, not that. That was a totally different film.
Yeah.
Well, witness testimony in terms of Dolce Base. This is one of the most compelling eyewitness testimonies. Was the whistleblower who came out and said he's been actually inside it. However, he didn't have any evidence to suggest that his story was real. It's just a big mystery and an urban legend.
Well, yeah, but there is loads of bases support all over the world, though. from like Singapore to Sweden to like you said, Australia.
Well, there's some in the UK
Yeah,
as well.
UK
In fact, I'll give a shout out to Rye, Scally Steve.
Yeah.
It's not Scally Steve.
Steve.
It's Scally G up a tree.
Yeah.
That's what his handle is on the internet, like Scally G up a tree. Yeah. He's not called Scally Steve.
Yeah.
Like he's called Ryan. Right?
Oh,
but
right.
like Rye, like and. Basically, he was asking where's like the Area 51s in the UK,
Yeah.
like, and I was like, well, you've got the Rendlesham Forest, area,
Yeah.
that's kind of one of your kind of hot spots where people would say that was your Area 51, your Roswell, if you like. Do you know one of those, the big incident?
Yeah, it's one of the biggest incidents in England, but I've got to disagree. And there's one that happened in North Yorkshire, which it doesn't get its praise that it should have, really, because there was witnesses to it. But then, like, hardly anyone talks about it. I mean, I don't think I've heard about it in the last 20 years.
Okay, why is it?
To be honest. I can't.
Because it was one I found, some at Mansion, Porton Mansion or something like that. But then Porton Down is the UK's government defence science and technology laboratory.
Yeah.
Primary focus is researching and developing chemical and biological defence measures.
I'd say that's the closest, apart from the islands off Scotland. I know there's an American secret base there.
Yeah, I mean, the Porton Down base has been, it's had a long history. It goes back to World War One. When it was established to kind of address chemical warfare threats. It's interesting.
Right.
The conspiracies surrounding it, though, Porton Down's secretive research has led to speculation about hidden, experimentation involving extraterrestrial biology.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as, I don't know about that. I don't know. Let's just say that there's more likely Porton Down scientists are just fans of,
Yeah, but don't forget underneath
fans
had
of
a
fucking
massive,
having a tea party or something.
massive place, and like even one of the ufologists has been there in the last couple of years to try and get in, and like it is so locked down. There's 2 entrances, and it's like I'd say possibly that would be the probably the closest. But then you've got one in centre of London. You've got a massive one for the King now, and for the Parliament.
For the King?
Yeah, it's like 3 miles long. There's literally like 300 people working.
Oh,
down
you mean a bunker?
Yeah, underneath that. But
well, I mean, in terms of bases, there's loads of bases and bunkers. I mean, and it's like even the average guy. I mean, not average guy, but the
average millionaire.
The average millionaire can definitely afford himself a silo bunker living pad, which has
like
got all mod
hotcakes.
cons and stuff. I mean, they're selling out rapid. But in terms of like government secret bases, I mean, in terms of what you want to get out of a base, there's loads of them. They're all pretty much secret.
And they're all illegal.
They don't want you to know about any of them. I mean, we've talked about the Menwith Hill
that's right.
over in the UK, and that's kind of like a secret base. They don't want you to know about it because it's a listening post listening to you. Like, and that's a joint operation. There's so many of them.
That's right.
In fact, I remember watching something about, I think it might have been Mark Thomas back in the day, and he was kind of doing a lot of political activist sort of stuff, and the Mark Thomas Comedy Project.
That's the one.
And he stood outside a base.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's found it on the Ordnance Survey map, and it doesn't exist.
That's
He
right.
stood exactly where the Ordnance Survey map says he is. Yeah. And the map, it's not showing up on the map. Yeah.
No.
So he finds the phone number, rings him up, and he goes, "Oh, I'm looking for this base." And they go, "Oh, no, it doesn't exist." And he's like, "I'm stood outside it. I'm stood outside the gate."
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were still denying that the base even existed. Do you know what I mean? Like, so
he actually got the law changed that they had to. I think it was like 10 weeks after that. They legally had to put them on the maps.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had to put all military bases on the maps.
I bet not all of them are on
yeah,
there.
well,
though,
we
are
know
they?
all of them ain't there. And there's definitely 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 of them in this country that we haven't even got a clue about. No one's got a clue about, you know what I mean?
Well, this is the thing. This is what I was saying about, like, Area 51, because, like, obviously, shit happens.
Russia wanted to throw a little thing.
No, people start getting kind of, like, obsessed with it and want to know.
Yeah.
Right? So you start getting people trying to get near the base, and then you're like, whoa, you can't come near the base. Super top secret.
Go find another one. Forget that one.
Yeah.
We've found it. Go get another one.
And there's in fact there's loads of stuff that's secretive about the area itself. I want to get into something
and
in a
it's
second.
gotten larger as well.
But like, it's at some point you move whatever you've got that's top secret because you think, well, obviously it's not secure and people know about the base now, so let's move it on.
Exactly. You could do certain things.
One of the other secretive things about Area 51, though, because we're going to go down this road anyway, like, but is it Janet, the airline?
Yeah, that's right.
A secretive airline that is primarily used to ship Area 51 workers in and out, isn't it? Yeah. And it's pretty much kind of like operated out of Las Vegas Airport.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like a private runway, isn't it?
Yeah. All secured.
All secure. Ferries the staff from the plane to the facility.
Yep, that's
and
right.
back out. No other interaction with any sort of outsiders.
Top security.
Super top secret. Yeah.
They probably live in a little village that they're like government made, right?
They probably do. You are living in the Globex
You might as well do it
village.
in Area 51 then, really.
For the
we know
workers of the Globex Corporation.
Yeah.
A planned community. Yeah, like one of them, a planned community.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What was that? That was that Simpsons episode, with what was he? Hank Scorpio.
Hank Scorpio.
Yeah, he goes to work for a new guy for a new power plant, Homer, and he's trying to get the reactor core.
Oh, right.
But Hank Scorpio's like a Bond villain.
Yeah.
And the reason why he needs the core up because he's gonna like use it to take everyone hostage. But like Homer's just like
the blame man.
Nah, just works for him. But he's the best boss ever. He's just even though he's a supervillain, he's just like. But he's got a planned community for the staff because he's such a nice guy. Even though he's a villain, he still looks after his staff. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, but saying that though, he kind of reminds me of one of these sort of like 1% evil guys.
Yeah.
And that nicely leads me into the next one.
All right.
Airports and that type of kind of people. Yeah. The Denver Airport.
Oh yeah. We've done that again.
We've talked about Denver Airport in the past, but obviously going into it, some could argue that there is a base, or an underground facility at least. It is a kind of an interesting one. The Denver Airport is a major international airport serving the city of Denver, Colorado. It's one of the busiest airports in the world, and it's known for its unique conversational artwork, large underground baggage handling systems, and a lot of kind of controversy when it comes to like what's actually going on there. The conspiracies behind it suggest that aliens checking in, potentially. Conspiracy theorists about the Denver International Airport range from secret underground bunkers to references of New World Order. Whilst the airport's unique design and artwork have fueled speculation, it's more likely that the focus is kind of trying to keep flights running smoothly at the airport. But people kind of still seem to think that there's an alien connection. I think the Illuminati symbolism's really bizarre. The murals are really kind of freaky. Yeah. The demon coming out of the suitcase. The fact that it's got like, stone, like capstones with Illuminati symbolism.
Yes.
There's a lot of kind of weird stuff going on
Statue
in the
up front.
Oh God, it's
Lucifer.
Well, no, it's a big Mustang, isn't it? Yeah. There's a big blue Mustang. Yeah. With glowing red eyes.
Yeah.
It's very kind of like, it's metal, Do you know, I won't... metal, yeah, but...
Yeah, have a look at the picture. Bring it up, Denver Airport.
Oh, yeah, I'll be posting some of this stuff on Instagram anyway, so if you follow us on Instagram at Never Straight Answer,
got it.
You'll see it all, but the symbolism over at Denver Airport, it is really quite alarming if you kind of want a woke person. Yeah, you can't help but see it and go, hang on a minute. Something going on here.
Especially in New World Order.
Now, the idea of there being an underground base was when they dug a big hole when they were constructing Denver Airport. Right. It went way, way, way over budget. Yeah. And they dug this big hole, built a number of buildings, and then filled it in. Yeah, said they'd made a mistake, and instead of knocking it all down, they just filled it all in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
People think that they was kind of building an underground facility, and the answer that Denver Airport give is that that's their underground baggage handling system.
Bullshit.
Well, it might be bullshit, but we've got eyewitness testimonies. Many Denver Airport employees dismiss alien conspiracy theories. Do you know, they say basically it's nothing, we don't see anything.
Well,
however, the occasional person does come out and say there is a bit more to it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you never know.
There's at least 5 or 6. Even there's actually a surgeon first action team who in like around about 2004 went to all these places and supposedly had gone through the the tunnel systems, because there's supposed to be tunnel systems to like nearly every single base. But what was interesting to me was that he said that these people were saying that they'd done over 250 autopsies on aliens. They've got over 3,000 samples of different kind of species. And what got me the most was they said that when they went to a meeting, when they went on these like underground trams, because the law states that when they at a certain depth, they are not a part of that country, so it's like the sea. So it's like the sea law comes in then. So there's sort of no law there. But these trams supposedly go that fast and you can actually turn up on another planet.
Yeah.
And this is just not 1 or 2 witnesses. This is quite a few witnesses. Yeah, and like it has been said for a long time about these tunnel systems.
Yeah, I've heard about these tunnel systems, and do you know when people were having the booms?
Yeah,
they were talking about hearing really large booms everywhere.
Still happening now.
Yeah, I feel like that was all down to drilling. It's not a coincidence that there's been a lot of earthquakes and kind of disturbances and volcanoes going off and stuff like that. Potentially that's because everyone's drilling.
Yeah,
we're all drilling.
I gotta agree.
We might be drilling a bit too much, maybe, because isn't there a project in China where they're drilling? Yeah. A massive big hole for some reason.
Yeah, everyone's drilling.
Everyone wants to drill at the moment. Like, drill, baby, drill. Anyway, I mean, well, whatever you think of it, there is a lot of different bases around the world. Some of them do some top secret stuff. Whether they've got alien involvement or not remains to be seen. But, it could be fact, it could be fiction. But, you never know, but it does fuel the excitement when it goes, when you start to thinking about what goes on behind closed doors. But one thing for certain is the human fascination of the unknown and extraterrestrials will always continue. Do you know what I mean? It does spark the imagination.
I'm kind of hoping, because there's been a legal status now. There's been a legal fight put down that all of these bases have to be announced to Congress within 6 months, and if not,
well, because basically, if there's a big, if we're so kind of set on getting alien disclosure or answers to these questions, then if there are bases that have involvement, then maybe that should be kind of brought forward. And
don't forget, they're illegal, they're unlawful. They're not. They're supposed to through black budgets go through Congress, but Congress and the White House get no information.
Probably
or
little
anything
about it. I got all Doctor Strange there.
Private companies.
The multiverse is something we know frighteningly little about.
Yeah, I've just heard about holograms as well. About this
really? They've been out for years, mate. The holograms. You've only just heard about them.
Well, no, but apparently the technology exists and they can actually go to hard light where it's got mass.
Ooh, that's interesting.
That's how far the technology on it goes, and it's
actually I could imagine that, because like holograms like have been around for ages, so being able to kind of make it a bit more solid.
Makes you think more
I suppose
Matrix
it's
as well.
kind of like is particles. So say basically like if you spray a mist of water in the air, if that mist's fine enough, like a fog or a vapor, then you can kind of like you project onto that to make the a more of a 3D hologram, which we've seen loads, do you know what I mean? But then if you're using something that's a vapor that might give it a little more mass.
Yeah.
But then is the whole, we're getting into the,
It just,
I start baffling my brain now.
As soon as I heard about it, it just made me think of Matrix. Now you're giving more of a possibility that Matrix is there.
Matrix.
Yeah,
we're living in the Matrix, maybe. Maybe this is it.
Yeah, well, you never know. Well, we're here. Might as well enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. That's it, isn't it? Just get on with it.
Yeah.
Well, whatever you think. If you know of any other secret bases,
look for yourselves. We
check
won't
it out.
Tell you little bits about this book. If you go out and look for yourselves, you'll find a lot more information.
Well, we want to know if you've got any extra information, or you kind of know about a base that you think, wow, that's weird. We think some alien type shit might be going on down there. Let us know. Or if you've got a topic that you might like us to cover at a later date, just give us a shout. We'll try and squeeze it in.
We will.
Yes, indeed. Well, I think we've got the news coming up pretty sharpish, so just give us a mo, and I think I'm going to shuffle some papers. Well, we got the news right about now. It's the news. Oh yeah, and we've been looking around everywhere to find the best news, and I think we've done all right this week. There's been a lot going on, though, to be fair. As always, the world's full of crazy people, and crazy situations. Because I found this story, about marine biology and marine life. It's a good one. So basically, cocaine that's been dumped in the sea off Florida. Is having crazy effects on sharks.
Making them go mental.
Sharks are eating it, and the scientists are saying they've had to do a bit of a study on it because basically researchers were doing a bit of research.
It's them partying hard in the corner.
Well, they were making a documentary. Right. So they was filming a documentary, and they were looking into the effect of cocaine and drugs on the marine life, when they started to notice that some of the sharks were acting quite peculiar, even crazy, and scientists kind of got a bit kind of baffled by it. Researchers investigating whether drugs dumped overboard impacted the region's marine life. For a documentary found that sharks they were acting strangely, and others were responding to stimulants. So like they were high, basically.
Getting high, and
these smugglers basically leave countless tons of cocaine in the seas around Florida.
Oh shit.
So it's kind of evident that it's evident that the marine life are getting into it is the point, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's going to be long lasting as well, because the smaller fish are going to have it, and then the sharks are going to have them, and so it's going to be.
Well, it dissolves. It just dissolves into the unless it's just the packages, and then if it's a package that they're getting into and it's a big chunk, then they literally they're ingesting quite a lot of this powder, aren't they?
I would have thought it'd kill it.
I would have, actually. Give them a bloody heart attack or something. I mean, last month in the US Coast Guard seized more than 14,100 pounds, which is 6,400 kilograms, off the Caribbean Sea.
Jesus.
So, obviously there's quite a lot of it in the oceans, and whether that's kind of affecting the sharks, the dolphins, whatever's there, Basically,
well, yeah, I should imagine so.
It's like I just think like, I just got this vision of Sebastian the crab from The Little Mermaid going under the sea. Having this dance number where they're all kind of having a party.
Hey, sniff this, mate.
You, the lines are better down where it's wetter. Take it from me.
Oh, especially if it's pure as well.
Oh, and maybe Sebastian's only deals in seaweed.
Boom, boom.
But obviously, yeah, there's a lot of marine life down there. There's like blowfish and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, blowfish.
So whether the drugs are having an impact on them or not, they're still trying to work it out. But I thought it was an interesting opening story anyway.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Have you seen anything going on in the world that you thought, hang on?
Oh, yes.
Hang on a minute.
Just a minute.
Wait, one minute.
Just 1 second. Look what we found in the sea.
More sea stuff. What have they found in the sea this time?
We found in the Mexican Sea, Pacific, a guy and his dog who went missing for 3 months.
Oh, really? Is this the guy who... Oh, my days.
Yeah, this is an Australian who...
he did. Wait
retired,
a minute.
basically.
Wait a minute. He's been lost at sea for 3 months and he didn't eat the dog.
No.
Wow, man's best friend though, really, isn't it? I mean, like,
oh yeah.
And people are going to be going,
"Bit sick of fish, though."
A horrible man for even suggesting it, about me. But
hey,
there's not.
measures.
I bet there were times when he looked at that dog in a cartoon like burger.
Yeah,
he saw it in like a burger with ketchup and a bit of mayo and lettuce and all cheese.
Yeah, but he must have been either a good fisherman or plenty of stocks up in
his boat.
Yeah.
Well, good on him for not resorting to that. But I mean, obviously, if you're going on a voyage. You would need to stock up. I mean, what sort of boat was he on? I'm thinking he was in a little dinghy or something.
Nah,
30 like adrift.
Yeah.
It was a 30-footer.
Yeah.
That's like a tour bus.
Yeah,
that's massive.
It's pretty big. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Oh, we could survive. He's got plenty of room for tins of beans and stuff in there, hasn't he? Then.
Oh yeah.
You no need to eat the dog.
54-year-old and the dog survived the 3 months trip because basically he quit his job, sort of like retired, moved to Mexico, and then thought, right, I'm going to spend it on the boat. Got the boat
running
and then
drugs
thought,
between
go out.
Mexico and probably.
Yeah. I see a shark there. I'm going to throw a packet of drugs at it.
That's
see
how
what
it
it
works.
can do to a boat over there.
It scored.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. But yeah, so he's he looked pretty healthy actually for someone who'd been on the sea for like 3 months.
Loving life.
Yeah, obviously had a beard and like.
I don't know if he owns a boat and he's he sounds like didn't he just decide that he fuck off for 3 months? Just nobody had seen him for 3 months, or did he?
No, they'd been looking for him, but
but he knew where he was.
Well, he did, yeah, but he didn't have no tracker or anything like that, like a donut.
Well, maybe
he
just thought, fuck it, I'm quite happy just to go out and
maybe he wanted to, be lost, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
maybe
he was happy when he was found.
You're only missing to the people who were looking for you.
That's true.
And he knew where he was, so he was fine. Do you know what I mean?
And his family in Australia thought he was in Mexico. Yeah, he's all right. Not
there
too
you
bad.
go.
Yeah,
I think he was all right the whole time. To be honest, I think he knew exactly what he was doing.
He was fucking tricking them, wasn't he?
Tricking them, tricking them and twicking them. I found this story. Oh my days! This is it was National Fast Food Day the other day. But this is one fast food place you wouldn't really want to go to. Basically, there was a gonorrhea outbreak in a McDonald's branch.
Oh,
right?
No.
Where amongst staff were having they were all getting down, I think.
Getting jiggy with it.
They were all kind of, it was rife.
Right.
In this particular Mackie D's, by all of accounts. There was an outbreak of gonorrhea amongst the staff at a McDonald's branch in the UK. A report says sexual relationships between staff members were commonplace in a Northern Ireland branch. So it wasn't
wiping her ass with your burger.
Oh God, that's disgusting. I mean, like, dude, you have to lower the tone. But what I'm getting at is, like, it's like not only is that kind of thing, they must have to have closed the building because it couldn't have operated.
Oh yeah, but it's fine. It's a franchise, isn't it? So
it's all right. We're all on antibiotics.
Anybody really could own one of them.
This revelation was part of a BBC investigation into allegations of a toxic work culture at McDonald's. There was an outbreak of a sexually transmitted disease in the McDonald's branch, but obviously there's been reports of bullying, where employees have revealed allegations of sexual assault, racism, homophobia, and across a lot of different branches. I've not seen all branches, but quite a few.
So there's a higher number than usual. Then.
Do you think, like the McDonald's, though, the culture of kind of the fast food industry, it's kind of one of those first jobs, isn't it, where you kind of, you take it because, like, you want to kind of get work experience. It's kind of one of those jobs. But do you think they're treated kind of... I've never worked at a McDonald's, so I can't even comment on what it's like to work there.
No, well, let's get one thing straight. It's not fast food no more. That's for sure. It's not fast food, but I don't know. I think it's just trying to hang on. You know, the company's just trying to hang on because.
Well, it's not fast food. No, it takes ages. I remember the days when you walk in a McDonald's and you go, I want a burger, please. And they go, boom, you've got your burger.
Exactly, you know what I mean? It's
you can walk back out, sweet, 2 seconds. I used to run in a McDonald's while I was waiting for a bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was literally a McDonald's at my bus stop, right? And I'd run into McDonald's, get a cheeseburger, and knowing that my bus is due in 2 minutes. Yeah, because I could literally have a load of them waiting on the side there. Sweet, got me burger, I'm off,
That's right.
Sit on the bus, just eat it while the bus is just pulling up and there's a queue.
Now you got a froth on the fucking computer and
you
then
got
you got to wait.
Oh my days, it is definitely not fast food.
No.
I think they've downgraded, they've stepped back, haven't they?
I don't even think it's a restaurant. I don't even think they should be even called a restaurant.
Let's
you know what I mean?
Let's move on.
Oh, that's just me.
That is just you. Well, there you go. They're kind of like an Apple store, aren't they now, with all the tech? But most restaurants like that, Burger King, all of these restaurants have kind of followed suit in terms of like interactivity with the menus.
Yeah.
I mean, bring back the good old fashioned, customers, and people will say, you can still go to the till, but you still get given a number, like cashier number 5, please. And like, you still got to do that wait period where it's not loads of stuff prepped because they know it's a busier time of day. Or working out the analysis to say, well, this is how many cheeseburgers we usually sell between these hours. It's we'll make it fresh to order, but it does take a little bit longer. I mean, sometimes is it the convenience of being able to just have it like those what are they called, those the vending machines in Amsterdam, where it's kind of like they're ready to go.
You had some food I tried, didn't you? What did you think of it?
It was okay, but I mean, obviously,
I wouldn't touch that.
But if McDonald's adopted something like that, where it was a better quality food for a little bit more of the price than those kind of like those vending machines charge. They were charging like €1 for a burger. Or €2. No, I think it was €4 for one of the burgers.
Yeah, so, it's pretty expensive.
So if franchises like McDonald's and Burger King or something like that did those type of things where they loaded it up with, all these different types of menu options with a freshometer to tell you how long ago it was placed in the thing.
Yeah, maybe changed every half hour or something like that.
Exactly.
If no one takes it.
And then
but still,
for the speed of it, just for the convenience, bring back the convenience in the convenience food.
Not for me. I want to see people on the other side. I don't want to be seeing machinery.
Oh yeah, that's another thing because you used to be able to witness them making and cooking the food in the background, whereas now it's kind of like we've put a wall up so you can't. A wall of TV monitors. To distract you from what's actually going on in the background. Yeah, exactly.
We fell on the floor. We didn't want to do wastage, so we put it on the
Sort
plate.
your necks out, McDonald's, and put some better toys in the Happy Meals
I think a lot of
whilst you're at it.
Or not restaurants, but restaurants like McDonald's need to do all that kind of stuff.
They used to do some top toys in McDonald's. You know what I mean?
Man.
Don't do anything like that anymore. It's all like you get a jigsaw or a book, a World Book Day book.
Yeah.
That's what a kid wants on a Saturday afternoon, isn't it? Anyway, have you got any more stories?
Oh yes. Well, wouldn't you be surprised if you went to Costa Rica Zoo.
I would actually, because I've never been. I'd be well surprised. I'd be like, oh, look, there's a lemur.
Well, their keepers were even more surprised.
Go on, they worked there, so it must have been good.
Oh, yeah. Well, this crocodile has been in this enclosure solo for 16 years. Not seen a peek of another one. But apparently, it's a virgin birth.
What?
Of 14 eggs. Yeah.
Well, no, because... Well,
right,
okay.
Yeah. How the fuck? Unless the keepers have gone, hey, here's a trick, here's a trick.
Snuck a daddy reptile.
Well, somehow held it down and then decided to, inseminate.
I mean, they tried doing stuff like that. I mean, obviously, it's like in terms of trying to bring back a species if it's close to extinction, they do try and kind of, especially if it's something in captivity.
Yeah.
And they try and get them to mate to kind of keep the population going.
This is like an old crop.
Well, you're saying it's been in isolation for 16 years, then maybe that it's just genetically kind of altered. It wanted to be a mother so bad that it
it's
just
not a seahorse.
Well, no, but lizards. I mean, have you never seen Jurassic Park? You know, there's certain.
It's a film, mate.
Well, no, I know, but in sort of evolution, there are lizards and reptile species that are asexual, so they reproduce themselves. Right, they don't need a partner; they can do it themselves. Right.
Well, crocodiles
there's
ain't
some
one of them.
frogs that do them. But that's what I'm saying. Is this a
You're saying that this it could be the first form?
Yeah, I mean, it's been in isolation for 16 years. It's not seen another member of its species. Has it basically,
decided to make some
just decided to do it itself. Yeah, exactly.
Itself.
I mean, is this nature in what's it? Jeff Goldblum's interpretation? Has nature found a way?
Well, wow. Yeah, but I
mean, that's exactly the premise of Jurassic Park in terms of like because they created all of their dinosaurs female. Yeah, right.
Strain,
but over the time, they decided. Well, they started finding eggs, and they were like, well, how have they gave birth? Because they're all female, or how is it kind of? There's nobody to kind of.
Yeah, but that's with messing with the genetic
but that's what I'm saying.
Well.
It's
and
like
we don't really know what we're messing with.
It can happen in nature. I think it probably can happen in nature. I mean, how likely it is. I mean, look, right, okay, let's just go down this road, yeah. We already know that there are human beings who were born with, both organs, right? Yeah. Whether it was a kind of mistake or kind of a problem developing or something when they were forming that it didn't make the decision for one way or the other, then how do you know that there'll be different levels of the percentages? Do you know what I mean? It's at 50-50 or 100% or 75%. So how do you know that doesn't happen in other species such as crocodiles, such as panda bears, whatever, where they potentially have the capabilities of self-replicating, if you like.
That you were talking about, I don't think up to now any of them have give birth to their own baby.
Well, it might happen now if you're saying that these reptile eggs are real and they've just appeared. So maybe this is, like you say, a first instance of that.
Yeah, but I
feel like in terms of like immaculate conception, I don't know if it's as clear cut as that. Like, I feel like
I would think
it'd be a case of like the if they did some more research on the actual animal in specifically that crocodile or whatever it is.
It seems there's nothing.
They would discover that there
wrong.
was. Well, again, how did they know until they kind of open her up? Do you know what I mean? And find out what was
just
going.
Take the blood sample and check the genetics to see.
Well,
what?
Not necessarily, because this is what I'm saying. It's like you don't know what's actually going on inside. Do you know what I mean? You can take your blood samples and stuff, but how do you know that this crocodile's not got other things going on inside that's not going to show?
Because the genetic marking should tell.
Okay, fair enough.
Should tell us, because they developed genetic maps, which I still they believe that they've done all of them, but I don't believe that it's all correct as far as the mapping is going. I believe there's only
well,
like
no.
10%.
What I'm getting at is right. Yeah, if you're saying that they've not kind of artificially inseminated her and it's a virgin birth,
yeah,
then there must be some scientific reason for it, right? And this is what I'm saying.
A bit of spunk on the old floor, and she's just gone across it.
Well, what? I mean, that's crudely said. I mean, that's really crudely said, Taylor. And I mean, to be fair, where'd that come from?
How?
Where did that come from?
Because that's the only accident way that I could see something that like that happen. Maybe like.
No, I mean, no. It'd be by the vets, and mate, this has just gone way off track. I do apologise to the listeners for Taylor,
but they are saying that there has been no messing about. There's been no testing or even wishing to give birth, but for some reason she has, and the only way I could see that happening is by some kind of mistake of maybe dropping a jar or some shit's happened.
That is the most stupid thing I think I've ever heard, Taylor. Honestly, dropping a jar, right? And I think the listeners will fucking agree with me on this one. The only way you could have seen this happen if somebody dropped a jar.
No,
that is mate. No, this could have happened by artificial insemination, by genetic design, by basically a genetic mistake. Yeah, it could be the idea that, like fucking Jeff Goldblum said, nature finds a way, and this could be the first instance of because it does happen, like I say, in other reptiles.
Yeah.
So the chances of it happening with a crocodile or an alligator, whatever it is, a lizard species in isolation for that length of time would not want to carry on its digital or his genetic makeup, right? Yeah. So there's so many other reasons and scientifically sound reasons that it could have happened. Dropping a jar of what I can only imagine is, well, where was this jar from? Who had the jar, and why did they drop it?
I don't know, they could have been looking at doing something
well,
like that.
Listeners, I'm sorry about that. Wait a minute! Don't drop that jar, Taylor.
No,
we could all get into some trouble here. Oh my days! Well, I think I'm absolutely stunned and flabbergasted at that one. I've got a story. Going forward, you proper embarrassed me in terms of I can't think. A Texas worker's been accused of being on drugs.
Okay.
Yeah, when he was actually dying of heat stroke.
Oh shit.
So so basically, they're suing employees for employers for $1 million $1 million. Yeah, saying that the construction workers had no protection from extreme heat. Right. Yeah, a mother of 24-year-old worker who died of heat stroke whilst working on construction in San Antonio, Texas, filed a lawsuit against his employer, saying that they were basically not looked after, and that this kid had basically been sent home being accused of being on drugs. Yeah, when really he was fucking dazzled by the extreme heat and needed heat protection, head protection, adequate water and hydration and all the rest of it.
More men like that.
So the lawsuit comes after Texan Republican Governor Greg Abbott signed on a bill to say that prohibits local municipal forms of heating protection standards. So basically, they'll have to kind of do something about it, basically, in the future.
Yeah, because they broke the law, basically.
They broke the law.
They broke the law and did look after the staff.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, that story seemed really tame after the crazy crocodile story.
Wow, if you think that's good.
Go on. Oh my God.
Dutchman in.
Hey, you got a Dutch pancake. What's this?
Court.
What's he in court for? Am I going to regret this?
He's been in court because he's not allowed to go to the wank bank anymore because he's already.
He could have said the sperm bank.
The sperm bank, then.
Yeah.
Because he's already produced 500 to 600 kids.
What?
Yeah.
He's produced 5. Oh my God, that's a lot of kids. That's a lot of maintenance payments.
And if he goes to these clinics again, he will be fined.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I can totally see. He's
£100,000.
fucking up the gene pool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just because like it's
especially local gene pool.
Oh yeah, exactly. And if a lot of even not even just local, but what are the chances of like you get adopted by like or you're artificially inseminated and you're born and all the rest of it. You don't know who your biological father is.
No.
But then like you meet some guy and you get on.
Yeah.
And of a girl and you get on.
Yeah.
And then it turns out that you're genetically brother and sister. Or half brother and half brother and sister, but that's kind of fucking with the gene pool again, isn't it?
Yes, especially because there has been numbers
of them where they fell in love
and that like they're not willing to give up.
Oh my days!
As well, you got to consider that you've got a lot of heart.
Well, I mean, it's like he's abusing the system, isn't it? I mean, he must be.
Yeah,
like,
but I think he was doing it for the money,
getting some beer money. Yeah, right. I'll get
exactly.
Just before I go pub, go knock one off, get paid to I don't know how much do you get paid per session these days. I don't know.
It used to be. It's very hard now.
Oh
it's
yeah,
very hard to.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, only I think it's one out of every 10 men.
Only want the best of the best.
1 out of every 10 men get free.
Okay,
no,
so how come he's getting in so often then?
Well, he must be a clean boy and like alcohol,
Well, we don't know that's why he needed the money.
Well, yeah, he might have just been
like saving up. Yeah, he might have been saving up for something really
holiday
good.
Next year.
He thought if I go every day, then I could pay me mortgage off or whatever.
Pennies. Yeah, because it used to be 80 quid. But years ago, it was like 18 quid.
Oh, my days.
Well, yeah, and it was like...
my commodities.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
Well, he's been banned from going because he's already produced 600 kids. Well, there you go. I mean, I think that's the bank's fault for you not diversifying the portfolio.
I totally agree, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But then who knows, there might have been several banks around there and they didn't know each other and he went like, right,
mate,
go in Tuesday.
He was working
the
banks. He was literally going on a bank crawl.
But it's different in it, like a bank deposit instead of bank robbery. I'm going round doing bank deposits.
Oh, you wouldn't want to rob one of them banks, would you? I mean, you may
unless you want a kid.
Come to a sticky ending.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, basically, yeah. If you wanted a kid, you might.
Yeah, you might willing to.
Be like, oh man, you want the best of the best, though.
That's true. Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like we appreciate that you've got a choice in white goods,
but then that comes down to genetic.
We know that there are other facilities available.
There are.
Anyway. Moving on, getting into some NASA news now. Well, on 6th of July, a French woman in the town of Shermock was just chilling and chatting on a terrace.
All right.
When she was struck by a small object, right? On further inspection, it turned out to be a black and grey meteorite.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. She got it. I mean, how fast do you think that was going if it's hit her?
I wouldn't want to be hit by one.
I wouldn't either. The news has it's been reported on French news. According to the Weather Channel, the object struck the woman in the rib,
right,
or in the ribs, enough force to leave a bruise. So she was bruised by the meteorite.
Sure, it weren't the local kids with like some
slingshot
dog shit or something.
Yeah. Well, experts at space.com said that the meteorite was almost certainly of terrestrial origin based on what the meteorite looks like after falling through the atmosphere. So there's no reports of such objects falling over France, but if the woman were hit by a meteorite, it would have been one, exceedingly rare instances of a meteorite striking a person.
True, you've got more chance of a meteorite hitting you than you have winning the national lottery.
Well, it might not be. I don't think it is a meteorite. That's what I'm saying. So he's saying it's from terrestrial origin. So, based on what the meteorite looks like, but obviously that's just one person's opinion. It needs to be analysed.
That's true.
Obviously, they've said basically a quick breakdown of the meteorite has fallen bits off space rock, and the meteorite has landed on Earth. Meteorites have often fallen in bits like little bits of rock and metal.
All the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
you get tons of it, like billions of tons a year.
Indeed. Yes. Have you got anything else you want to talk about? We're on NASA news now, by the way.
Yes. We are.
Just so you know.
Yeah. Just getting me glasses. A new fin lens for telescopes have been designed already that could bypass James Webb's telescopes by far. It looks like
that's good news because basically, although we've only really recently put James Webb out, it's already doing really good work. So if you think about if we're developing now even better, thinner, lighter, even we can see things even further and with more clarity, then that means that by the time NASA have got a project underway, these things will be kind of like super developed. We'll be able to implement them into the next mission or the next telescopes.
I'd say in the next 5 years there'll be even
they won't.
better
I don't think
ones.
they need to do it so quickly because obviously the James Webb's just
space
gone
race,
out.
isn't it?
Yeah, I know, but in terms of like exploration, I mean, I suppose you could send it out into a different direction and just try and kind of like glean more information about what's over that side. If the James Webb's going over that way, let's send a new one with this even better lens off in the other direction and see what happens, you know what I mean? And then you're getting multiple data from multiple sources. Especially if this lens is so good that it can see way better and clearer than the James Webb. So, you never know what you're going to see, really.
Yeah, well, hopefully, they reckon 3 times the amount that James Webb can do now. And James Webb could do 5,000 times more than like the
Hubble.
Hubble, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Hubble, bubble, tile and trouble.
So it's just getting better, but you could use it for in a kind of funny way. They could use it to like look properly on like Mars or the moon.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Proper.
Like just a guy with use it in a big telescope.
Yeah, like let me have a look. They say there's a face there on that moon. Let's have a look. And
Let's have a look.
Yeah, it is.
Face on Mars, wasn't it?
I've
got this guy, a story here about a former construction mogul called Christopher Bealso, who's basically told the media that in 2007 he was penniless, losing his business. He ventured out into the woods near Cape Fear Lake, and then he was going to end his life, right?
Okay.
He got about 40 miles from the top of this hill, the hills around there, and he cried out, "Whoever's out there, help me!" Yeah, right. And then he said he never thought what he thought he was going to see. About 150 feet above him, were 2 orbs glowing blood red.
Oh.
Yeah, in a triangular form, or forming these orbs. Anyway, I think there was 2 or 3 of them. Yeah. Right. He said that the orbs had since then started visiting his home. Yeah, and floating above. I mean, he didn't want to call them aliens or anything, but
so it was a supposed abductee.
Potentially, maybe. I think everything started to turn around for him. Yeah, right. And he's saying that it could be down to these the interventions of these orbs. But his claims are so bold that NASA and the CIA and the DOD agencies have all expressed keen interest in hearing his stories.
Oh, right.
So Christopher Bealso, he's told the media that anyway. I wonder what, he was out. He says another time he was out on a fishing trip with his son and stuff started happening. Seen orbs and stuff.
Well, then, to be honest, the next step will be to protect his son because that
guardian angels, potentially. He said he's also been visited by aliens with red glowing eyes.
Yeah, I've heard a few species like that. But some not to be trusted as well.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Any other stories? I've got one or two more.
I've just got this one. NASA is underway within 100 days to send a rocket, a spacecraft to study a meteorite that has 10 quadruple.
Quadrillion.
Quadrillion, yeah.
Quadrillion.
I think this would be the only time I'd ever say that word.
You're never going to see it in my bank, am I?
No, definitely not.
Quadrillion.
No, unless I'm writing it myself. Worth of metal on asteroid.
Yes, yeah.
And SpaceX is sending a rocket up to the asteroid belt.
Do you know bringing back down a rocket? Do you know bringing down a meteorite that big? Yeah, and if they're saying it's full of metal and all the rest of it,
yeah.
Do you think that might kind of change the mass of the planet? I mean, it depends how big it is, but I mean, trying to bring it down if it was big enough that they could land it in a desert somewhere and then mine it for the next God knows how many years. Do you know what I mean?
Well, they're going to lose parts of it.
Is it like landing a mountain? Is that what it's going to be like, or is it going to be a lot smaller than that? And I'm just thinking way too big.
Be soft.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is how the fuck do you land a meteorite? It could be very destructive.
Well, they want to put it in our orbit, don't they, really?
Well, what I'd suggest is maybe landing it, like, somewhere else. I think you mentioned the moon, didn't you? And I mean, that's a good idea because, like...
No atmosphere. It could... It depends on...
Well, the moon gets bombarded by meteorites quite a lot.
Yeah.
And we could hear that ringy bell sound it makes when it hits it. That'd be interesting.
Maybe we can all hear it.
We'll all go, right, we're going to fire a big meteorite of metal at the moon. We're going to go up and mine it in a few years.
Yeah.
But listen out for the ring, guys.
Hell yeah. But it stopped the mining in the ground of what we've got now. But you're adding stuff on there. But then again, by that time, I should imagine we'd be creating more ships. We'll need materials like that to
well, this is the thing
exist.
as well. Like, I was just saying to you about like mass of the planet, and if you think about it, everything we build on the planet is all mass that we or materials that we found on the planet, mined out the planet, and then kind of changed its molecular structure. So the Earth's mass and the Earth's kind of like molecules are just the same as they've ever been. You were saying about meteorites and stuff though, but
because we get bombarded.
We do get bombarded, but how much stuff do we send into space?
Well,
do you know what I mean? So
consider the weight of metal.
It's
and
such
stuff
a small
like
percentage of stuff that hits us, and the percentage of stuff that we send out is probably about the same. So the Earth's mass itself probably doesn't change all that much. I mean, I could be totally wrong.
Yeah, I think it changes slightly, but
I mean, in terms of like you are right by trying to find resources outside of our planet. It means we don't have to mine it for natural resources if we can find it elsewhere. So
put it on the moon. We could go to the moon. We can build more bases there, build the ships to go on to Mars. That
could actually be like a really good moneymaker where you just kind of capture meteorites, land them on the moon, mine them.
Oh, well, if they catch one, they're definitely going to go out
another
there
one, aren't they? Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Just keep them away from planet Earth is what I'm saying. Land them some fucking... Don't land them on your own doorstep.
Well, one of the first things they should do, defense.
Probably that Elon Musk. SpaceX is to launch even more Starlink satellite after some delays. But, I mean, the delays, obviously, it's just been busy. I think Elon Musk's scheduled to launch more Starlinks over low Earth orbit. He did launch some the other day because he put a tweet up saying like it's available here, there, and everywhere, or in the new areas that it was now available. So I think he is getting quite big coverage now, and there is a lot of people using it.
Well, since the Ukraine war, they've been using it there, and then it was criticised over that there as well. But it's still got its little issues. There are still satellites falling out of the sky here and there.
Well, there was, I think, there was actually a story on one of the websites for one of the I think it might have been space.com or space.co.uk or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was about something that washed up in India.
It
washed up in Australia. Yeah. and everyone was saying it was a
Shark on
UFO.
drugs. Yeah.
The military had basically said to stay away from it. Yeah, and they didn't know
Okay.
what it was. Right, it looked like a big canister of some description. Yeah, it's basically part of the Indian spacecraft. Yeah.
Oh, right.
That's washed up on the shore of Australia.
Okay.
But at first they didn't know whether it was going to be toxic or have any sort of leakage or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
Radiation.
they were trying to say stay away from it. But it's turned out it was a part of an Indian rocket. Because they've entered the space race now, haven't they?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're actually
probably-
due to land on the moon in next, I'd say, week.
Well, we'll check out for that. We'll have to have a
the
look
first
into
one
it.
failed.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Yeah, it failed. It exploded, I think, and then that's what pieces of it are being washed up on beaches now.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I think that's pretty much it for the news. Taylor, you're a very naughty boy. You need telling off. I'm going to tell your mother.
He's going to tell me and spank me.
Fucking hell, you wish. Right, well, we'll be back next week for another episode.
Hold on.
What? Have you got another episode?
You got to answer my question, yeah?
Oh, right, okay. Oh, God, yeah, because we forgot last week as well.
Yeah, we had the riddle.
I do think I've got the answer.
Go on, then.
Well, it's rather... So read it out again. Let me hear the riddle again.
What do you serve that you can't eat?
I'm going to say a tennis ball.
Ball bag.
Did I get it right?
Yeah.
I was going to say shuttlecock.
You was going to say shuttlecock?
Yeah. I was going to say shuttlecock, but then again on serve, I thought tennis ball.
Oh.
And you know what? It was something earlier that Tennessee, and I went, actually, yeah, that could be something. And then I thought about it. Yeah, it's tennis ball.
Ah, you ball bag.
There you go. Thank you very much. It's just this is it. 1-0. Indeed, it is indeed 1-0. We'll get Taylor next week with another riddle, so stay tuned for that. And I think that is the end of the show. We'll be back next week for another episode with another fantastic topic and more just hilarity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And there's, like I say, it's been a bit of a weird show, but there's no point crying over spilled milk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's slow on the uptake, him.
Oh, no, I got you, dirty bugger.
Well, we're available on everywhere you get a podcast. Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Castbox, Good Pods, and much, much more. You can go over to the website at neverastraightAnswer.co.uk. Social media sites, we're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So come and find us. We're always doing bits. We've got plenty of content going up everywhere. So always worth checking in.
It is.
Thank yous to everybody who's subscribed recently. And if you've not subscribed, do take the time. It is free.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. You can subscribe at a subscription, and I think there is about 50 episodes available on the Spotify subscription for the low cost of £1.99.
Yeah.
It's very cheap.
Next to nothing. Yeah.
You can also, subscribe on TikTok.
You can. You can indeed. Yeah, we're on there every now and again.
Pretty much all the
Every
time,
day.
yeah. Now we're addicted. I think there was an episode where I was like, I'm never going on TikTok for kids.
I've said it so many times.
Anyway,
but then,
right, well, you've got to maintain web, presence and all that. Well, we'll be back next week. So thank you for listening. I've been Gaz.
I've been Taylor.
We've been the Never a Straight Answer podcast. Peace.
Out.